What was the nastiest thing done at your high school? Unfortunately, the nastiest thing that happened at my school was done by me. It was my freshman year. I desperately had a crush on my best friend, Rob. He had this dark, black hair and deep hazel eyes that made me melt every time I caught him staring at me in math. You know, teenage hormones and the like. Our lockers were right next to each other. We were in the same homeroom. Sometime around October, being the ever awkward and weird kid I was, I thought that the best way to show Rob I liked him was by teasing him. I left the cafeteria one day with a nearly full milk carton in hand. I held onto it throughout my last class of the day and waited for Rob at my locker. Once he had gotten his things and we said our goodbyes, I pulled out the milk and placed the carton at the bottom of his locker, spout open and covered slightly by a hoodie he had left in there. Hilarious, I thought. He'll come in on Monday and have to find a chunky carton of milk in his locker. Gross, yet harmless. I was so wrong. Rob found the milk carton on Monday. What I had underestimated about him, though, was his capacity to simply not care. He shrugged it off, took the hoodie out of his locker and placed the lock he had never used on it. Then he left it. A month went by, and I could smell the milk every time I opened my locker next to his. After 2 months and the Christmas holiday, I forwent my locker, too, instead carrying my entire bag from class to class just so I didn't have to open my locker. By April, the entire hallway reeked of sour milk, so strongly that the students curved around the affected area when passing through. Everyone smelled it. No one could figure out where it came from or what it was. It was deadly, so much so that people whispered about what could possibly be making that smell. It was the mystery everyone talked about. You could feel the thickness of the stench in the air. The last day of school came, and we were instructed to take the locks off of our lockers and clean them out at last period. Rob tried to make a getaway, grab his lock and run for the doors before someone asked him to open it and show it had been cleaned out, but he just wasn't quick enough. "Open it," our homeroom teacher demanded, as if he knew what that locker held inside it. With shaking hands, Rob opened the metal door, and it was as if you could see a green puff of foul odor release like a bomb from inside. "Close it," our teacher screamed, and Rob did, both of us gagging. The teacher ran for the safety of his classroom and we left. The first day of sophomore year we came back to a clean hallway, no smell, bare lockers. Though, our former homeroom teacher never looked at Rob the same. As an adult, I feel terrible for the poor custodian who had to clean that putrid milk. However, as I lay next to my husband in bed, I can't help but be just a little bit nostalgic for that stupid prank. 14 years later, Rob and I have been together ever since. Inseparable. 2-year update. A few years have passed by and Rob and I are still going strong. We recently had our first baby, after 7 years of trying.